Dear Gemini, stop scrolling right now, because if you were born under this sign, July 5th, 2026 is not just another Sunday on the calendar. It is a day that the universe has been quietly preparing for weeks, maybe even months. Somewhere between sunrise and sunset, you are going to face one decision, just one, that will feel small in the moment but will echo through the rest of your year, maybe the rest of your life. And here's the strange part. Most Geminis won't even realize it's happening until it's already behind them. That's exactly why this video exists. We are going to walk through, step by step, what this decision looks like, why it's showing up now, and how you can make sure you choose the path that leads to abundance instead of regret. Before we go further, hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second, and it tells us you want more of these deep, accurate readings. Subscribe so you never miss what the stars are planning for you next. And down in the comments, I want every single Gemini watching this to type, "I'm ready," because today we are not just reading the stars, we are preparing you to meet your destiny head on. Number 1. Why July 5th, 2026 is different for Gemini. Let's talk about why this particular date carries so much weight for you, Gemini. Every year has its ordinary days and its turning points, and astrologically speaking, July 5th, 2026 falls into a rare category of alignment that doesn't happen often. Mercury, your ruling planet, is moving through a phase that intensifies your natural gifts of communication, quick thinking, and adaptability. But it's also amplifying a tendency you have to overthink and second-guess yourself at the worst possible moment. That combination is exactly what creates a decision day. You will have the clarity to see an opportunity clearly, but you will also feel the pull of doubt trying to talk you out of it. What makes this different from an ordinary Tuesday is the way the emotional and mental energies are stacking on top of each other. The moon is forming an aspect that touches your house of transformation, which means whatever choice appears in front of you on this day is not going to be trivial. It might look small on the surface, a text message you decide to send or not send, a conversation you choose to have or avoid, a job offer you weigh in your mind for 5 extra minutes before responding. But underneath that small surface action is a much bigger current. This is the universe testing whether you will trust your instincts or let fear make the choice for you. Gemini, you are ruled by duality, the twins, and that symbolism has never been more relevant than on this exact day. You will genuinely feel like two different people are arguing inside your head. One version of you wants to play it safe, stay comfortable, and avoid any risk of embarrassment or failure. The other version of you can sense that something bigger is calling, something that requires you to step slightly outside your comfort zone. The entire theme of July 5th is about which twin wins that internal debate. And the truth is, the stars aren't going to make the decision for you. They are simply handing you the moment. What you do with it is entirely up to you, which is precisely why understanding this energy in advance gives you such a massive advantage over Geminis who go into this day blind. Number 2, the exact moment your destiny will present itself now. Let's get specific, because vague predictions don't help anyone make real decisions. On July 5th, watch closely for a moment that feels oddly out of place, something that arrives without warning and doesn't fit neatly into your plans for the day. This could show up as an unexpected phone call, a message from someone you haven't spoken to in a while, or even a random thought that pops into your head so persistently that you can't shake it off. Gemini, your mind moves fast, and you're used to dismissing things quickly. But this is the one moment this month where I need you to slow down and actually sit with what's being presented to you. The reason this moment matters so much is that it's going to arrive disguised as something minor. You are not going to see a neon sign flashing, "This is your destiny moment." Instead, it's going to feel like an ordinary interruption to your day, almost annoying, almost something you'd brush aside without a second thought. That's the trap. The universe rarely announces itself loudly for Gemini, because it knows you respond better to subtlety and intellectual curiosity than to dramatic events. So this moment is quiet, but its consequences are loud. Pay particular attention to anything involving communication. A conversation, an email, a written offer, or even a social media message. Because Mercury governs exchange of information, the doorway to your destiny is very likely going to open through words, spoken or written, rather than through action. Someone may present you with an idea, a proposal, or a piece of information that seems small at first glance. Your instinct might be to file it away and think about it later. Resist that instinct. Later may be too late, because these planetary windows are time-sensitive. The energy that makes this decision so powerful is only fully available on this specific day. There's also a strong chance this moment will test your comfort zone directly. It could involve stepping into a spotlight you've been avoiding, saying yes to something that scares you a little, or finally addressing a subject you've been avoiding in a relationship or at work. Gemini, you thrive on options and flexibility, but destiny doesn't always offer multiple choices. Sometimes it offers exactly one, and July 5th is shaping up to be one of those rare, narrow doorways. Recognizing it the second it appears is half the battle, and now that you know what to look for, you are already ahead of where you would have been. Number 3. The decision itself. What's really at stake? So what exactly is this decision going to ask of you? At its core, July 5th is going to present you with a choice between staying in familiar territory or stepping into something unfamiliar that carries real potential. This isn't about choosing between two equally good options. It's about choosing between comfort and growth. And for Gemini, that is often the hardest choice of all. You are naturally curious and adaptable, but you also have a deep attachment to keeping your options open. And sometimes that attachment to flexibility becomes its own kind of trap. When you refuse to commit to anything, you also refuse to fully receive anything. On this day, the decision may show up as a fork in the road regarding your career, a relationship, or a personal project you've been quietly nurturing. Maybe it's an invitation to collaborate with someone whose vision excites you, but also intimidates you. Maybe it's a chance to speak up about an idea you've kept to yourself out of fear that people won't take it seriously. Whatever form it takes, the underlying theme is the same. Something is asking you to commit, to say a real yes or a real no instead of your usual, "let me think about it." Here's what's genuinely at stake. If you choose comfort, if you let the moment pass because it feels safer to stick with what you know, the door doesn't slam shut immediately, but it does begin to close slowly over the following weeks. Opportunities like this one tend to shrink rather than disappear all at once. So the version of this opportunity available to you 3 months from now will likely be smaller, less exciting, and harder to access. That's simply how these planetary windows work. They favor decisive action taken close to the moment of alignment. On the other hand, if you choose growth, if you say yes to the unfamiliar thing, speak the words you've been holding back, or commit to the path that scares you a little, you are stepping into a current that has been building for a long time. This is not a random burst of luck. This is the culmination of effort, patience, and personal growth you've already put in over recent months. The decision on July 5th is less about creating something brand new and more about finally allowing yourself to receive what you've already earned. Gemini, you have done more preparation than you give yourself credit for. This day is simply asking you to trust that preparation enough to act on it. Number 4, how to make sure you choose correctly. Knowing what's coming is only half the equation. Now let's talk about how to actually navigate it well when the moment arrives. The first thing to understand is that overthinking is your biggest enemy on this particular day. Gemini minds are quick, but quick can sometimes mean scattered. And scattered thinking is exactly what will make you miss the window or talk yourself out of the right choice. When the moment presents itself, give yourself permission to trust your first genuine reaction rather than the fifth thought that follows after you've talked yourself into doubt. A helpful practice leading into July 5th is to spend a few quiet minutes each morning simply asking yourself what you actually want, separate from what feels safe or expected. Gemini, you are so used to weighing every angle and considering every perspective that you sometimes lose touch with your own preference underneath all that analysis. Try writing down, in just a sentence or two, what excitement feels like in your body versus what obligation feels like. When the decision moment arrives, check in with that feeling. Does saying yes feel like genuine excitement, even if it's mixed with nerves? Or does it feel like dread dressed up as opportunity? That distinction will guide you more accurately than any amount of mental pro and con listing. It also helps to limit who you talk to about this decision before you make it. Gemini, you love gathering opinions, and normally that's one of your strengths. But on a day like this, too many outside voices can drown out your own inner knowing. If you feel the pull to consult 5 different friends before responding to the opportunity in front of you, notice that pull for what it is, a stalling tactic disguised as due diligence. Trust 1 or 2 people you deeply respect if you need outside input at all, but ultimately recognize that this decision belongs to you alone. Finally, remind yourself that discomfort is not the same thing as wrongness. The nervous, slightly shaky feeling that comes with stepping into something new is completely normal and does not mean you are making a mistake. In fact, for Gemini specifically, that flutter of nerves is often a reliable sign that you're on the edge of real growth rather than danger. Courage on July 5th doesn't mean feeling fearless. It means feeling the fear and choosing to move forward anyway, because some part of you already knows this is the direction your life has been quietly leading toward. Gemini, here's what I want you to carry with you after watching this video. July 5th, 2026 is not a day to fear. It's a day to prepare for. You now know what to look for. You know why it matters, and you know how to move through it with clarity instead of hesitation. The twins inside you have been debating long enough. It's time to let the braver one lead, just for this one important moment. Trust the preparation you've already done. Trust the instincts that have carried you this far. And when that quiet, unexpected moment arrives, remember this video and remember that you were told in advance exactly how powerful this day could be. If this reading resonated with you, make sure you're subscribed because we have even more detailed guidance coming for Gemini in the days following July 5th, including what happens after you make your choice and how to handle whichever path you take. Share this video with another Gemini in your life who needs to hear this today. And before you go, drop a comment telling us what you're most nervous or excited about facing this week. Your destiny is closer than you think, Gemini, and it's about to get very interesting.